Hello again. We are moving on to a new unit. The I can statement today is I can interpret the relation between the graph, equation, and table. And I can see how each input has an output. So this is the beginning of graphing and all of the fun things. We're going to be able to kind of relate. How does a table relate to the slope? How does a table relate to the graph? And how that is all a linear equation. Well, we're going to start off with an easy one, and then we're going to do a level 2. So here's my handy dandy whiteboard. Let's get started on what all the jumble Mrs. Dondre is saying, right? So let's start off with something very simple. A two-variable equation. X plus y. Turn up that music. Okay. X plus y equals 6. X plus y equals 6. Now, we know this is linear y because we don't see any of this, right? We know that this equation, if I were to plug this in on a graph, it's going to be linear, meaning it's going to be a nice straight line. Well, let's go put this into a table, right? So I'm making a table right here. X and a y. X plus y equals 6. It's even as easy as it sounds. Well, we know if 1 plus 5 equals 6, 2 plus, this is falling. Can you see? Yep. Okay, 2 plus 4 equals 6, 3 plus 3 equals 6, 4 plus 2 equals 6, 5 plus 1 equals 6, and 6 plus 0 equals 6. This is a table. Now with two variables, this means this can be a lot of solutions, just like the ones I wrote here. I could even go as far as saying 7 plus negative 1 equals 6, right? We can keep going on and on and on. This equation is never ending with our answers, right? Well, now let's translate this into a graph. So let's put a graph over here. Okay, so I'm going to put this is y, up and down, x is side to side. I'm just roughly drawing a graph. So if my x is 1, we know x is this way. We know y is this way. So if I go over 1, up 5, over 1, up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, roughly put a dot there. Now let's do 2, 4, over 2, up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Over 3, up 3, 1, 2, 3, and so on. We know, let's see how straight I can make this graph, and let's hope I don't get too embarrassed. Okay. Okay, there we go. There we go. We know that this can have answers going on and on, so we just related a two-variable equation into a table, and we put that into a graph. Now we can kind of see how it truly is linear. Yes. So now let's try a level 2 one because it does get a little bit more crazy. Put a new. So level 2, we have this problem in blue. This is a little bit harder than just x plus y, right? Well, no worries. It's not too bad. Let's go ahead and figure out what two variables or what two numbers that can we sub in for x and y that will satisfy the equation equals 11. The first step that you can do is just plug in a number for one variable. So what I like to do is go ahead and write that problem nice and neat down here. Okay, so because x is by itself, I think it would be easiest to say that I can plug in any number for x. So I'm going to start by plugging in, let's plug in 1. So if I plug in 1, I've gotten rid of x, I've plugged it in for x. Let's finish that equation. Minus 5y equals 11. Now we just have an equation, a one variable equation that we're used to. Very, very simple. we know that we want to keep our variable on one side, and we want to move our like terms all together as well. We do see this 1 is in the way. I might be rambling. You guys already know. So -1, what you do to one side to keep balance, you do to the other. We have -5y equals 10. Okay, and then our final step is we want to isolate that variable, meaning that this is -5 times y. We're going to divide it to get rid of the -5 on the y. What we do to one side, we do to the other, divided by -5, right? And then we have y equals -2. So when, let's see, when x is 1, y is a -2. Let's begin that graph right here. Okay, so let's make a rough draft of a graph. Let me make that nicer for you. So when x is 1, y is -2. X is 1, y is -2. Okay, so to continue this, let's go ahead and maybe add another number. Let's try to add 2 for x. So 2 subbed in for x minus 5y equals 11. We need to get rid of that, so -2, -5 equals, -5y equals 11 minus 2 is 9. Yes, crazy, we are going to have a fraction here. Totally okay. So we will divide by -5, divide by -5. We have y equals -9/5, or that's the same as -1 1/5, right? 1 4/5, sorry. So we can go ahead and put that in our chart. When x is 2, we tried 2, y equals -1 4/5, or 1 4/5. So let's plug that in. When x is 2, y is -1 4/5. So that's just going to be, x is 2, y is -1 4/5. It's just tiny. It's like in between, right? The 2. Okay, so now that we've gotten 2, we can continue to graph that, but we do know that it'll roughly look, it'll be a line again. So now it'll be your turn. You can just plug in numbers, you can guess and check, but you will be finding what numbers for x and y will satisfy the equation, and you'll relate that to a graph. You'll relate to a graph, and you'll relate that to a table. If you need help, don't forget to come in and ask questions. We can walk you right through it. Good luck this week.